All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our BDF files and we're going to annotate them. Annotations are very important. Annotations means in the file there will be a marking when you opened your eyes, when you closed your eyes, when you started to meditate, which different activities you were doing at which time, very important data. And also we want to have all of the times when you blink your eyes and all of the noise that comes from clenching your jaw, from moving the head. All of that needs to be annotated such that the computer can consider all of that. So while I record, I actually, on paper, I note down what is happening at what time. I find that easier than doing it digitally, but how you do that is up to you. It is very important that you keep track of these things. All right, so let's see what we have. So here are my recordings, and over here is a file that I've already previously annotated. So let's just take a look at it. I'm going to use the previous used montage. And now you see here, you see on the right side, you can see all of these annotations. So this is the annotation. So I'm just going to click it away, and in Window, under Annotations, you can find it. Right now though we want, so then we have this Annotations window here, but there's also Annotation Editor. And then we have the same annotations here, but also at the bottom you can see we have the ability now to create them. And this is important. And there's one more thing we need to do. If we go to Tools, and then under Options, then here in Annotation Editor tab, you can add some predefined annotations. Okay, so predefined annotations, I have 3 of them. I have Sync 1, Sync 2, you probably don't need those. And I have Artif. We're going to be using Artif a whole bunch today. All right, so this needs to be there. So if you're going to be using my software for generating reports, then you also need this one called Artif. So put this in there, Artif. Doesn't matter which location. Actually, let's just put it at position 1. Artif. Capitalization is important, so don't capitalize this if you're using my software. All right, close. Now, if we look over here, we can see the very first annotation is called Eyes Open. And it starts here at 1 minute 40 seconds, 1 minute 40 seconds into the recording. So here you can see everything changes color, and it says here Eyes Open, it starts. And it goes on for 600 seconds. So 10 minutes of Eyes Open period. And then here we have a short one that's called Artif, and here's another one that's called Artif, and another one that's called Artif. But the Eyes Open period in this recording is 10 minutes, and after that, if we scroll down here, we see here at some point Eyes Closed starts, and it also takes 600 seconds. And if we scroll back from here, we'll find somewhere where the Eyes Open period ended. So this is where the previous annotation ended. And then we scroll forward. During this period, I'm telling the subject, okay, now you're going to close your eyes and blah, 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 blah. And then the Eyes Closed period starts. And this is the time, 12 minutes and 30 seconds, that I had recorded in my notebook with my pen and paper. I had noted down Eyes Closed starts 12 minutes, 30 seconds. And then I had the person sit with their eyes closed for 10 minutes. And then after some time, I told them to start meditating. That happened at minute 22 and 40 seconds, also for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes of this, we went to the period of rest, where they're still sitting with their eyes closed. And they did that for 120 seconds or 2 minutes. So those are the periods that are going to be analyzed. These are the epochs, basically. Like an epoch refers to a time span, a time period. Okay. Then we want to also annotate all of these short moments. First of all, when you look at this signal here, you'll see that this signal here, T7, doesn't look very good, and T8 also has that. T7 and T8 are often like that. I do not consider them in my analysis because they're almost always problematic, but also for meditation they don't add a lot of value. So I find it much easier to just, I record them, but I don't actually use them. So I'm not going to make annotations on this one channel because it's so noisy. I'll just kind of look past it. But here we have an eye blink, and you can see I have annotated that eye blink with an artif. I call it artif. And here another one. And here's a period of some noise, maybe some squinting or something. And here's an eye blink. So every time I'm annotating exactly that period of time. And so you can see that continues happening like that. This period here of first an eye blink and then a clench or whatever it is. And so I keep doing that because we want to have the clean data. We want to have the data snippets in between. So here in between two eye blinks, I'm having 1.5 seconds of clean data. And that's what we're after. So it keeps going like that. And so you can see how I've annotated this. And there's a long list here of eye blinks, and they primarily occur during the eyes open period. That's a big surprise. And then during the eyes closed period, there's one artif period, and it's not an eye blink, but it's some kind of a clench or like some muscle movement. And then during the TM period, there are 5 periods of artifact, whatever this is, not sure. And if we move forward, if you click on the artifact, it takes you to the time period. So this bunch of noise here, and this noise here, and here. So we want to mark all of them so as to be able to generate a good report. And what that looks like is if I open my analysis program, which is this, and I navigate to that particular file, this one, so it's loading it, it's telling us all of the periods that are in there. So now I'm going to generate the PDF report. It will take a moment. And then you'll be able to see why we want to do it in this way. And you'll see here now in the same folder where that where the BDF is, initially a whole bunch of images appeared, and now those images, so the report generation has completed, and it has generated a PDF with the same name in it, and this PDF looks like this. So now for every annotated period which is longer than 60 seconds, the script recognizes whether a period is 60 seconds or less or more. If it's more than 60 seconds, it will consider it to be a period that needs to be analyzed and consider it its own task, and whether the task is eyes open or eyes closed or TM or rest or whatever you have, that will be here, and the name of your annotation will be printed here at the top. And then it shows you the coherence of that period, of the average coherence of that whole period, here and here. And now here things get interesting. And let me zoom in a little bit. So this is the eyes open period, right? Where we had all of those eye blinks. And you can see here, I mean, it's a lot of eye blinks. You can see here every time, so this is the whole timeline. So we have 10 minutes, 600 seconds, And whenever there's an eye blink, that period of data is masked by the RTIF annotation and is left out of consideration for generating this report. And so we can see here it's a lot of eye blinks. And here in the eyes closed period there was 1, so we can see that here, and it was not an eye blink but like some kind of muscle twitching. And during the TM period there were 3 or 4, you can see 4 periods here, and then during the rest period there was 1. And we can see that matches here, so here there were a whole bunch of them. During the eyes open, during the eyes closed, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, during the eyes closed there was 1, and we can see that. Over here there was 1, and then during TM 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if that matches. And TM 1, 2, 3, 4, and then rest starts and there's 1 again. So that's how it works, and this is why you want to have it in the BDF file. These annotations are stored in the BDF file, and then the computer can use that data in the analysis. So my little script here will consider all of that. All right, so that is one story. Now let's I should add to that. Here you can see in the timeline, you can clearly see which periods are being excluded. But they're also excluded here, but this doesn't show us a timeline. But these circles are based only on the clean data, as well as these band-by-band analysis is based on the clean data and not on the RTIF periods. All right, now I have a whole bunch of recordings over here, and we're going to do them. Let's see how far we get. I've changed the names so that only I know who is who. But basically, we have 14 unedited, unannotated files over here, and it's 7 subjects, and every subject has 2 recordings, 1 before learning TM and 1 after. And well, and half of these are controlled, so they don't learn TM at all. I have in my little notebook over here, I've written at what time they do which activity, so that is what we're going to be using. All right, let's get started. Oh, one more very important thing. To do this, I most strongly recommend using a scroll wheel mouse. And that will become very obvious in a moment why. Like, do not do this on your trackpad on your laptop. Just get a mouse with a scroll wheel. You'll save so much time. Okay, so I'm going to open this one. This subject was recorded on the 1st of April this year. Okay, add signals, yada yada. Montage, load this one. And the way it is set up right now is that FP1 and FP2, so basically the whole front of the brain is at the top, and then it moves to the back of the head. So FP1 and FP2, like frontal left and frontal right, and then it moves to the back of the brain. Sometimes we have it such that it starts on the left side and then goes to the back and then switches over to the right side and goes back to the front. I've switched to this side where everything is in the front. Sorry, where everything, we start all the way from the front and then we move to the back. In this recording I did not do any heart rate, so I'm going to remove this one signal. Remove signal. And now let's see. I'm going to find this person in my paper recording of their timings. So let's take a look. All right, I found it. So I'm going to open my annotation editor. And in my paper, it says that at 2 minutes, it was the start of the eyes open. So I'm going to type eyes open in the description and then tap. Also, like I don't use the mouse here to move around. Like every time you hit tap, it moves. So it was 2 minutes, 02, 00, and then the milliseconds. I don't record stuff in milliseconds. And this was going to be a 10-minute period, so the duration is 600 seconds and create. And now you can see it appears right over here. Okay, good. So then the next period is the eyes closed period. And according to my description, that started at 13 minutes. So I'm going to type 13 over here. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. And then the duration was actually a little bit shorter. It was 9 minutes 45 seconds. So that is 685 seconds. Sorry, 585 seconds. 585. And create. Good. So now we have eyes open and eyes closed. And now, so these are all the periods this person had. This was their first recording. Now I'm going to annotate all of the eye blinks and other noises. Now the scroll wheel comes into play, and also your keyboard. When you hold down, and I repeat, hold down Shift, and then click this, so we can clearly see it. There's an eye blink here, and there's a whatever noise this is here, right from the beginning. And so I'm going to click and drag this period, but I'm doing it while holding Shift. So Shift, click and drag this period, let go, and now Artif. And you could see in that menu the periods that we had predefined earlier are there. So Artif, you can see what I'm doing. Every time before I click the mouse, I hit Shift. So Shift, and this whole period, Shift, and this. All right, and now I'm scrolling with my scroll wheel. Let me show you what I'm doing. So I got my scroll wheel, and now I'm scrolling through the data. You see? So here I have an artifact, and here I have an eye blink, and here there's an eye blink. And now I'm very quickly moving through the data with my scroll wheel. So this is all looking very good. Okay, there we go. I hold down Shift, I click this period, I say Artif. Now, if you don't hold down Shift and you select a period of time like this, so I'm not holding Shift right now and I let go, then it zooms in on that and it messes you up completely. So don't do that. And then the best way to get out of that is to just reload your montage. There. Now I had earlier removed the heart rate channel, so I'm going to do that again. Remove signal. And I had reached this point, this last artist, so I'm going to click it. And from there, I'm going to continue what I was doing. This is a minor little thing. You know what? I'm just going to mark it. And I'm going to mark this period. And I'm going to mark these two eye blinks. Here we have a bit of noise. This is, I'm pretty sure that this is muscle activity, like a very minor clench of the jaw, so I'm going to mark it as well there. And this, whatever this is, doesn't strike me like, I mean, I'm not sure what this is, but I'm just going to remove it. I just want to have clean data that I'm very confident with that it is clean data. Remove these eye blinks and this eye blink. And this is an eye blink. And here's an eye blink. And this eye blink. Oh, I notice here at the bottom O2 also has a bit of like, only this one channel has a bit of noise. I'm just going to remove it. This section here. See, there's the eye blink, but then here this one channel F7 is having some noise, and in T7 something is going on. This here strikes me as actual neural data, because even though here it looks like an eye blink in FP1 and FP2, we also see stuff happening in the whole brain all the way to the back. So I'm going to leave it. But this is clearly an eye blink. Eye blinks only happen in the front. It's the only place we have eyes. See here again, we have, like, if you would just only look at the front, you might think it's an eye blink. However, it goes all the way through the whole brain. So this to me doesn't look like an eye blink, but it looks more like some sleepiness. Based on the frequency, you see it's much slower than alpha. There would be like 5 or maybe 6 of them in 1 second, so that's more sleepiness. But this here is an eye blink. And this is an eye blink. And this is an eye blink. And this is definitely an eye blink. And this is an eye blink. Here we have a little bit of noise on this one, on only an FP1, like a little frown or something. I'm going to remove it. Here's a small eye blink. And here's a bit of noise. Eye blink. Eye blink. So you can see our list here is growing. There's an eye blink. See here again we have like some slow waves. This strikes me as neural data, so I'm going to keep it. Here we have an eye blink. Eye blink. Now, what you want to do, and this is why it's so nice to do this with a mouse, I mean, additionally to being able to scroll through time very quickly. Here we're getting nice long periods, like here 5-6 seconds without noise. Sometimes there's a lot of eye blinks and you get very little clean data in between. And then it becomes really crucial that you only mark exactly where the eye blink begins and where it ends. So you can, and with a mouse you can really neatly just slice out that one little section. See here we have whatever all of this is. I'm going to cut out this whole section. I'm going to cut out this whole section here. Now we're having T7 that is giving noise here. So you can see T8, and T7 has a little bit of noise. T7 and T8 often give noise, and it might not be noise, it might just be the way that the brain is structured over there. In my analysis, I don't use T7 and T8 because they're just often troublesome and they don't actually add a lot of valuable data when it comes to meditation. So I'm going to leave this data as it is because I have no intention of, we're just going to mark it, why not? We get enough clean data out of this person. So, but T7 and T8 I typically I leave out of consideration. But there's a lot of motion over here, so I'm just going to mark all of this, all these eye blinks. And we have an eye blink here and an eye blink here. There's something big happening over here, and then you can see here the color changes, the background color. This is the end of the eye open period. So you know what? I'm just going to cut out this whole part. Oh, did I get that right? RTF, there. So these are all of the RTF periods now during the eyes open period. This section here, which is not marked as anything, I mean, we can clearly see, like we have clean data, but we don't know for sure what is happening, and I just want to, you know, like we really want to know for sure. So here I had marked it as eyes closed, and I can see clearly, you know, like the eyes are closed because we're getting these alpha waves are everywhere. And this is probably the moment the person closed their eyes. Like here we don't have too many alpha waves, and then there's some motion here, and then alpha waves start appearing. So here for sure it is happening. So and this is the time that I noted in my notebook. That is the main thing that we go by. And so now we scroll forwards and we see clean data, clean data. This is definitely all neural data, clean data. I'm going to accept this, whatever this is here at the bottom. So here we have a little shift, and then again here, because it's only in one channel, it is clearly not an eye blink, because that would happen in this whole area here. But I'm still going to mark it there. Artif and Artif. And moving forwards in time. This is clearly a heartbeat. We're recording their forehead here. It might have a little like throbbing or something. I'm going to leave it. Little shifting of here. You see this one over here. O1 is having a bit of like a shift or something in the electrode. I'm going to mark it. This is definitely noise. I'm going to leave this. O1 is getting noisy here. Does it continue? It does not. So I'm going to remove it. This whole period. Bang. Little shift of an electrode over here. O1 is getting noisy again. Let's see, does it continue? Well, definitely this. We want to remove this part. Here I'm a little bit conflicted. Like we have the O1 that's getting noisy here, but I don't want to remove the whole period of time. This looks neural to me. I'm going to remove this section of. Sometimes you have to like make a consideration. Eye blinks, no consideration there. They just go away. Another eye blink. Don't know why they're blinking with their eyes open, but that's what they're doing. Now comes an important part. You are not. You cannot have an annotation sticking out beyond the period of the recording. So like where the EEG stops here, you cannot have an annotation that goes like this. So we have to delete this annotation. So I click it and then I can click delete. You can also click an annotation and modify it. Then you change it here, then you click modify. I want to make sure that this annotation, eyes closed, actually ends where it's supposed to end, because it is definitely sticking out. If we go to time scale and we do whole recording, we can see it's sticking out, and that is not allowed. The computer cannot handle that. So I'm going to adjust the duration here. I had noted in my recording that it went on until a certain time period, but we don't have recording until that time. So I'm guessing the recording stopped before I told him to open his eyes. So I'm going to change this here. Instead of the duration, I'm going to reduce it by 60 seconds, modify. Okay, so we're still sticking out. Let me go towards the end here. Again, take eyes closed period, and that's sticking out by how much. What happens if we do this? Okay, now we're almost there in terms of correct time span. Oh, I changed the wrong thing. Time scale, 10 seconds. Let's go towards the end. Oh no, we have to of course select the correct annotation. And I need to reduce it by 1 more second. Okay, well, so 499, modify, and now it doesn't stick out. Great, so now I'm going to save this as, and it will add to the name. Oh. I will save it in the same file. It will just take the original name and add /_edited to it. Save. All right, that's one, and now it actually shows you, because it does not overwrite the original file. So now it shows you the original file. You see here the file name is without _edited. But if we now look in the, over here we can see we have the original file, which was ph, like this, date and time ph.bdf, and now we have ph.edited.bdf. And now let's see if we go to the analysis program and we select that file. And we generate their BDF report. It'll take a moment. And while it's working, you can see it's creating images, PNG files, a whole bunch of them. And then when it's done all of that, they all disappear and a PDF appears, which contains all of those images. And at that point, the program will say it's done analyzing. So now let's see. Oh. And here we have the result. We have 2 periods, eyes open, eyes closed. This was the coherence with eyes open, this with eyes closed. Here we can see all the eye blinks, all the blank periods, and there's a lot, it's like fewer of them over here, and we can see the, it was a shorter duration. And this is what we get. Great, that's it.